Greetings. Enlightenment don't change your race. And that is something definitely need to be set straight. Because there's a lot of people on the internet who, when they get in the presence of certain people that have certain influence, they like to speak things that sounds good. And many of our people normally look up to people who look like them that has certain status. And most of the time, they can easily influence them by their words. Now, as one who self-realized and one who has been awakened from the dream of life, I am saying to you that it doesn't matter how self-aware you have become. It doesn't matter how enlightened you have become. You would always be aware of your race. Whichever race you've been expressed in this incarnation, it would mean certain things to you. For example, the way how you would be treated, the way how you would be seen, the way how you would be accepted by others perception of you. And let me just make it a little bit more simple for people so they will understand what I'm saying. For example, if I'm traveling through certain airports, certain parts of the world, whether it's in Africa or in the Caribbean, and other people are traveling through those same airports, the way how they would be treated would be different from how I would be treated. For example, I remember many years ago I was traveling from Jamaica, which is right in the Caribbean, to another Caribbean island named Antigua before I continue traveling back to my country. So I was coming from Jamaica, was traveling through Antigua and then back to my country, which is St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the way how we were treated by people who look just like us, we had to rebel. We had to exchange words with them. And at that time, I was still trapped in secular Christianity. As a matter of fact, I was coming from a religious mission in Jamaica. Okay, and to really respond back to those people the way how we were treated. When you are a Christian, it would definitely mean how much they were really overdoing it. But all the different Caucasian people and so on who was passing through the airport, they wasn't going through none of those things. And the reason for that is because people still have this colonial mentality. They look at others and they think that they're rich and that they're wealthy and that their own are poor and needy and that they are always out to do something that is bad or something that is wrong. And all of that have to do with people having, as I said before, this colonial mentality and also the religious and superstitious mentality that is keeping the people in the islands dependent upon the hospitality industry, because their mind have been shaped very early from the school system to act and to think a certain way. And the religious system is also blending to the school system automatically in the Caribbean islands. So I know exactly what I'm speaking about. And that is why many times I have to bring my message a certain way. Okay? So my brother and my sisters, when I heard a certain influencer who was very, very popular and who looks just like me saying that what color is consciousness, it might sound good and it is true, but they always saying it to the wrong set of people. For example, religious people will tell you that God has no color, but they will never confront the people who gave them a man of 2,000 years ago with a certain color. They will never try to confront and have conversation with those people who give them their image and their likeness to look upon as God. And that is how people can become blind. And so we are living in a world whereby most people on the internet are speaking oneness, but they're not defining this oneness. For example, animals are all animals. The birds are all birds. But the chicken hawk has a different diet than the eagle. And the chicken hawk do not fly as high as the eagle. The chicken hawk do not have microscopic and telescopic vision like the eagle. It cannot soar as high as the eagle. Certain animals are stronger than other animals. And so it is the same thing when you understand that we are all having a human experience, but we are diverse in many different ways. You see, the diet of a lion is not the same diet of a rabbit. So even the animals, they have different diets. They eat different things. And when you look at the animal kingdom, you don't see a lion mating with a horse. You don't see a dog mating with a cat, but they are all animals. You don't see certain birds mating with other birds, but they are all birds. So my brothers, my sisters, the people cannot face the truth. You see, when you become enlightened, it will teach you certain things that you could have never seen before. You will understand certain things that you never understand before. And as a melanated man, when you become enlightened, you would always be able to see systematic slavery. You'll be able to see where your people are bound in idolatry. You'll be able to see where your people are giving their power away. Because when you come to self-realization, you would realize that the way you were raised is that you were raised to believe a lie. And you will see through the lie. And then you will see the origin of the lie, where the lie really came from. For example, it wasn't until I became more enlightened that I could really answer the question of why my grandmother was so poor, yet she had a picture of Jesus in her house with blue eyes and blonde hair. Where did she get that from? And where did her parents get that from? So, my brother, my sisters, you cannot become so enlightened and become so conscious and become so aware that you gonna compromise and say, well, oh, we are just one, so let those things just go by. No, you're gonna live with those things in your subconscious mind for the rest of your life. Doesn't matter how enlightened you become. Doesn't matter if you come to accept that there's only one race in the human race. Yeah, there's only one race when it comes to birds, because they're all birds, okay? One category, put in that category. Animals, the same thing. When it comes to dogs, it's dogs, but many different, variety of species or whatever, okay? But if you see the point that I'm bringing to you, you would understand what I'm trying to say to you. What I'm trying to say is that there are many who look like you that are sellouts, and they will do anything for a penny. But I'm saying to you is that you could never live in a country, live in a region where the people have been kept bound in colonial mentality, and you become enlightened and aware, and you cannot see it clearly and not address it. You cannot become enlightened and do not know what is happening in Africa and how much they have been taking advantage of the ignorance of the populace, because they have keep them in a very low IQ. You see, when you become more enlightened and more aware, you raise your IQ level. And that's how you see many of your brothers and sisters still doing in a low IQ level. And you will definitely want to set them free. You will want to sell them out because you can knock heads with certain people and you can get more money and you can live a little bit more lavishly. You will tell the truth, doesn't matter what it costs you. Okay, so enlightenment doesn't change your race. You'll still be perceived the same way. Doesn't matter which part of the world I travel, I will still be seen as a melanated man or a black man. And people always have certain perception. But I'm not going to live my life as a victim. Okay, but that doesn't mean that must not highlight certain things. So my brother, my sisters, watch out for the fakes, because there are many fakes that are out there. Don't just listen to people just because they look like you. Have some discernment and see what spirit they are of. So with that being said, my brother, my sister, I can go on and on and on, but I'm going to come to a close here. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me and what I'm saying, if it makes sense to you, if it really resonates with you and you haven't subscribed already, I definitely want to encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram, and you like to follow me on TikTok, you can definitely follow me at BlackMadGuru. And if you like to support my work through my books, through my course, The Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously, or if you want to be a part of my Patreon community, you're most welcome. And anything else that you will need, I want to let you know that all of the links are down below. So I'll definitely encourage you to check out all of the links that are down below. And please follow your intuition. So with that being said, my brothers and my sisters, I just want to say peace, love you all. Out.